We had never heard of Arequipa, Peru until we started planning a visit to this country. Arequipa is located in the Andes Mountains, and with a population of over 1 million people, it is the second most populous city in Peru after Lima. And it's also very reasonably priced. So what can you get for your money here? Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Chris, and we travel the world full-time.
We're doing things a bit differently here in Peru.
Normally, we rent an apartment for a month in the places we stay.
But because of the recent protests in Peru, we had to delay our arrival into the country. And we also have somewhere else we need to be in 6 weeks.
So instead of renting a place for a month, we're moving around every couple of weeks to see more of Peru.
So here we are in Arequipa, surrounded by the Andes Mountains and 3 volcanoes. This is how much we're spending on food, tours, accommodation, and personal items.
If you've been to Arequipa or similar cities, please share your experiences with us in the comments.
Let's start with the cost of food. Arequipa has these great chaufa restaurants that serve chaufa. You can find restaurants serving chaufa on almost every block near the city center. The rice dishes have a variety of options like chicken or vegetables and cost about 10 soles each. Grocery stores are also reasonably priced here. A simple loaf of bread is 6 soles. And sometimes we like to stop at the bakery for some empanadas.
Empanada de pollo y queso.
We paid 12 soles for 4 empanadas, which we then took to the square at the center of town, called the Plaza de Armas, to eat.
It's nice, they change all the shapes of the empanadas so you can tell which one is which, and this one should be the rocoto en carne. Rocoto is a local hot pepper. Tasty, it's really nice.
As full-time travelers, we normally rent an apartment for a month. Here in Arequipa, that would run us about $740.
But because we're changing things up and only staying in Arequipa for a couple of weeks, with a 2-night break in the Colca Canyon,
we rented a room at this very lovely hotel run by a super kind couple. Our room is basic but very clean, and the price per night is just 25 USDs, including a breakfast of eggs, toast, coffee and tea, and freshly blended juice.
we booked directly with the hotel on WhatsApp to save the fees that the online platforms charge.
The hotel room is a bit smaller than the 1-bedroom apartments we usually rent, so it's great for a shorter stay. But we definitely prefer having a full apartment with a comfortable sofa and kitchen.
Arequipa has this amazing market area with lots of little shops inside and out facing the street.
I picked up a new jacket as my old one had developed a few holes, and we found a headlamp for just $2 that we'll need for our hikes as my old one broke.
And lastly, let's talk about the cost of tours.
As you know, normally we don't like to do tours, but they're so reasonably priced here and they make transportation so easy. First, we did the salar route. Salar is a natural stone that is mined in the region. But most importantly, the tour starts off with some famous cheese ice cream, which originated in Arequipa.
I'm trying queso helado, which is like iced cheese. It's really good. They put a little spice on the top, a little allspice or something. It's really good.
Now on to the canyon walk. The canyon is pretty narrow and super cool to walk through. And on the walls, we saw petroglyphs of different animals and stories being told. This place reminds us so much of Petra, Jordan, even though we haven't been there yet. After the walk, we checked out some of the carvings made from the Salar. This llama is adorable.
You want to take it home?
Can you get it in our backpacks? There was also this cool condor that Chris liked.
All right, I got my photo with the big condor here, the big stone condor. Hopefully we'll be seeing them for real next Tuesday.
You know, I love a good bridge. There were lots of other carvings too, including this money collecting one.
They have a little spot for you to put coins in here. It looks like they smash it out every once in a while and then replace it.
The 4-hour tour, including transportation, entry to the canyon, and guide, was very reasonably priced $7. Since our first tour worked out so well, we decided to book another. This time, a 10-hour tour beginning with a 6 a.m. pickup to the Salinas Lake Reserve, located 14,000 feet above sea level, high in the Andes Mountains. Our first stop on the tour is a viewpoint of the misty volcano.
It reminds us of Mount Fuji, even though we haven't been there yet.
Next up is Salinas Lake itself. One of the things people like to do here at Salinas Lake is to get their photo taken with their reflection in the water, which means walking through the water either barefoot or with your running shoes on. We have waterproof trail runners, so we've kept our shoes on, but the water's actually nice and warm. Flamingos also joined us on the lake. Before our trip to South America, I'd never seen a flamingo in the wild, and now I've seen them twice. And on our way out, we get to see some llamas too. Oh my god, they're so cute. On to our next destination, the mini volcano and hot springs. This area here cost 8 soles to get into. All of the money goes to the local community because they get no support from the government at all.
They keep calling this the small volcano or the little volcano, but I think it's just the pimple.
This area is stunning, but we're pretty high up, so we need to stop and catch our breath every once in a while. At 14,800 feet, this is the highest Chris and I have ever been, but we're going to go up even higher on this trip. This area also has some hot springs you can get into. When you're finished your soak, there are vendors ready to sell you some snacks. The vendors here rely on your purchases to survive, so Peruvians visiting the area will make sure to buy something from them.
I just picked these up from the vendors. They're potato chips, I think. They were 250 soles, and I think they're made locally here in Arequipa.
And as we leave the area, we spot some vicunas, which are similar to llamas and alpacas and live in the wild high up here in the Andes. It's been a long tour, and it's already 3 p.m., so we're finally going to get some lunch. Chris ordered the doble campestre, which includes a stuffed pepper. And I had the soltero de queso, which is a bit like a salad. Is it good?
It's very good. It's very spicy, though.
Ooh,
you should be glad you didn't get the rocoto.
I am glad I didn't get it. This full-day tour, which includes breakfast, transportation, a guide, and all the stops we mentioned, was just $20. The lunch we showed was not included in that price, though, but we're glad we got to try some new dishes. The lunch at a higher-end restaurant cost $23 for 2 meals and drinks.
We also booked a 3-day, 2-night tour of the Colca Canyon.
We're leaving for that in a few days, so we'll let you know how that goes in our next video. And that's what our money got us in Arequipa, Peru. We'll see you next from the Colca Canyon.